Hello, dear friends. It is December 11th, 2025. It's been kind of an odd time. You probably have all noticed that in the last week, in the last few days, in the last few hours for me. So we're just going to see how this goes tonight. I'm here with my friend Cheryl, who and whoever might find this later. I welcome you and give my appreciation for your presence here. I have invited the aspects of love to come and join us. I'm going to start out with a little recap of my previous time here. And then I will do some light language, and then I will open it up to see if our friends, the aspects of love, have anything to say to us, and then I will open it up to questions. I just want to reiterate that I do appreciate everyone who is here, everyone, and I just give love to all. So today I almost canceled because I had a period of anxiety that should not have happened, and I'm going to think about why it happened. I long story short, I get a um, Instacart delivery from Aldi. I always invite the driver to come up to deliver to my door, and I give them an extra tip. And I let them know that I will do that. Well, this person opted not to and left 3 bags of groceries down outside the door with, of course, a picture. So I went down, and my neighbor across the way happened to be down there at the same time, and he helped me carry my stuff up through the elevator and so forth. I got up here, and there was a bag of somebody else's groceries with it. No names on any of the bags. So I got anxious because I worried about the other person who didn't get their groceries. And I got very anxious because I'd already brought it up the stairs or up the elevator. And my friend, my neighbor, took it back down, took the extra bag. It was all just one bag that was not mine. And he took it downstairs and left it there. And I, meanwhile, informed Instacart, but went through the whole thing. Anyway, at the end, I was told to keep it. Of course, it's all the way downstairs, so I can't really keep it. Um, I was still worried about the person, and I just allowed myself to become anxious about it. And I'm asking myself, is this a trigger? Why did I let it get to me? It's just a minor inconvenience that was not my responsibility to fix, but I felt I needed to fix it. So I almost just canceled. I thought, oh, I'm just not in the right space for this. And I had a notice to my friends about it. I did, but I couldn't hit send. So I deleted that, and I said, all right, we'll see how it goes. So, and I just have thought about it, and I did feel swirling around of energies. So that was one thing that happened. Through this week, though, I've had um, several instances of being awakened in the middle of the night, loud noises. I have had dreams that seem more like visitation or telepathy. I've I My ears have been screaming I'm floating around with a lot of energy. I also have gotten a lot done, have accomplished a lot of stuff, which is kind of surprising. And I except for the minor inconvenience of the um, Instacart snafu, I've had really good meditation times. I've communicated with the water. I've been grateful. I've been many things. I've had contact from someone that uh, I don't I didn't expect to have contact with, but I just it's just been a an eventful week that I'm just noticing. I'm just saying that I'm just noticing. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just noticing. And I'm noticing the birds that we're about to have a snowstorm. And the little tiny birds, all of the little tiny birds have just been voraciously eating from the suet cakes that I put out. And I took that as a sign of, okay, they know the snow's coming. Yet the snow hasn't come yet. We're There's a swath going through Indiana, and we're supposed to get the highest totals of whomever. We'll see. It's not terrible. It's only like 5 inches, but and that's and the good thing is it's not critical that I go anywhere. So anyway, I think that we are approaching the times of it being a little confusing. There's a lot of stuff going on that's chaotic outside of my personal sphere. Um, but I'm just noticing it, and I don't know very much about what's going on, but I'm still feeling really good, even during the times of confusion and a little bit of anxiety. I'm feeling really good, and I'm just grateful for that. And I don't know what our friends on the other side will share with us tonight, but I'm going to open it up with some light language and then ask them if they have some input for us. And then we'll just go from there. But again, I hope you all feel as good as I do. And I also send out my deepest love to anyone who is struggling with all of the things that are going on. There's flooding, there's a lot of energies, there's just a lot of stuff going on. In addition to the chaos of the 3D activities. So I will quiet myself now for a minute and bring through light language from the aspects of love from whatever beings that are here to teach us tonight. I reach up with my heart and my energy to connect with the highest beings I can touch. Minäktä sieltä tätä ei piketiti eetiätä pada pyskata laajuuteen ja se kata tai että pada pyskata Heta now bikate ishkatapete etiatabatikoshikatai. Ah, haya, ete, tayanana, ayapatikashikatai. We are here. We are in joy with you. We are grateful and happy that you have come to a point of your feeling of joy. We wish to remind you only that we are here and that we are rejoicing with you in all of the things you rejoice. We are with you, encouraging you in all of the things that are not bringing you joy. But we also are grateful that you are focusing on just noticing rather than engaging. This is a time that approaches where there will be many things that are changing, that may be confusing, that may be a bit overwhelming in the energies and the quickness of the changes. You might feel in a whirlwind in the next few days, in the next few weeks, as things rapidly change. We just remind you to be in your most joyous place, focus on the highest that you can, and know that we are here ready. So just ask. We will give you a bit more of our language, our love via the energy of light language. And then if there is a question, we will entertain the question. Be sa siepta taiga. Se peti diata ta kente teti sinya dai tapata kaseti titi sa niada te kisikata siti te ta niana ma ite te sikatai a sekente e piata tainia ta pe ke diabatosh kate he niama neke. You may ask a question if you have a question.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So, in our 3D world, with three-dimensional space and a fourth dimension of time, we have what I would want to call the speed of communication. You know, how fast something can travel. And in physics, we are taught by the theory that the fastest anything can travel, including communication, would be the speed of light. And I happened to see an article in the last few days that says our Voyager 1 is now one, not light year, light day. It takes one day for us to send a communication to Voyager 1. And then if we want to get information back, it'll take another light day to get back. So my question to you is, in the way that you communicate with Kathleen, are you limited by that same speed of communication that we have? Or are you totally outside the realm of physics? Do you use quantum entanglement to communicate more quickly across space, or perhaps I have to think of the name of them. I had it in my mind. Like tunnels, quantum tunnels. There's another name, but I can't remember it right now. So that's my question. Are you limited like we are for speed of communication?
Your communication in the 3D is in the form of trying to think of the words. Purposeful actions like speaking
Mm-hmm.
or like typing on something or like sending something over a communication line of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Our communication is more like connected minds. Our
Mm-hmm.
dear friend Kathleen experiences this in the light language because it flows instantaneously
Mm-hmm.
and does not require any action in between. It is more like our telepathic connection
Mm-hmm.
is instantaneous because
Mm-hmm.
we are connected. We are using the capacity of oneness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a one-to-one comparison when you talk about the difference. And not everyone experiences it the same way. Some people who channel and communicate have a system whereby there might be filters so that there's nothing wrong. There is no wrong way to do this channeling.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Kathleen, because she was never trained in the correct way, she just does it her natural way,
Mm-hmm.
which is connecting uh, instantaneously. That our words do not filter through her brain. Now, we will remind you that she has set boundaries that don't allow uh, vibrations that are lower to enter into her communication. That is why she feels safe, and we feel safe to. Um, we don't really feel unsafe ever, but
Mm-hmm.
we that is why we can do this instantaneously. Um, this is the way she learned in in fact with all of her skills. She just expects them to come through and they come
Mm-hmm.
through. So does that help you in any way? Because it's not really it's
Well,
not
I
exactly measurable.
right. Well, I think it's a comparison of apples to oranges in effect, because our 3D world with our three dimensions and one time dimension sort of exists, if I say the earth, in a room where there's rules. And once you leave that room, you go outside that room, um, you leave that construct or concept. It's just not the same. The rules aren't the same. The way
That
things happen are not the same.
that is exactly true. You are you have an agreed upon system
Mm-hmm.
that relies on certain conventions that you might call rules that include your scientific rules, your moral rules, your
Mhm.
all of the different kinds of things that is an agreed upon standard that not everybody adheres to, but
Mhm.
that's part of the rules too.
Right.
Yeah, that is how you define if someone is in the wrong, if they don't follow the rules. But it's actually just experiences. So you will find that once you leave this room, as you well said, the rules change. And in order for you to experience some um, uh, order, that is why you use time, because it is an orderly kind of thing, a linear kind of thing. Uh, you've got these rules, and that helps you maintain your systems. But
Mhm.
just imagine all the other systems that are not nameable, and they you wouldn't understand them at this point anyway, because you are working in your 3D mind. But if you would astral travel, if you would go uh, do different things, experiment with all the powers and the gifts and all of the things that you haven't yet discovered, you will see, oh, that would never work on Earth, but it actually
Mhm.
would, but it doesn't fit your rules. So, yes, yes, you're absolutely right.
And it does remind me, here on Earth we have different countries,
Yes.
and you go to different countries and they just have different ways of doing things that work fine for them, that in my country we'd say, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? And in a way that's like a more concrete way of thinking about, we actually do that on Earth. We have different sets of rules for different cultures, for different points in time, for different countries. So thank you.
And you have artificial boundaries
Mm-hmm.
that define this person belongs to this country. So they
Mm-hmm.
have that identification. But yet, if in telepathy, once you um, get used to telepathy, those borders, even the languages, because it will be more of an energetic
Mm-hmm.
telepathy. So at this point, you can probably sense when there is love between two people. And this is the most
Mm-hmm.
simple way that I can explain it. But they may be two people who speak different languages, but you can still tell that that energy of love is between them. And so if someone is standing on the border of one country and talking to a person on the other side of that border, borders will actually eventually just not work. So, but
Yeah.
that's not happening tomorrow. But
Yes.
we would
Yes.
say that is in many ways it's beginning to the very first little dipping the toe in the water of true oneness is happening. Do you have any other questions or follow-up questions?
Well, I actually have a question from some of the previous communication in this session.
Okay.
Um, you commented in the near future there's going to be some dramatic changes, like almost like being in a whirlwind, which it's like, I like, we've been anticipating different things, and now this is the second time. that we've been prompted that it's the changes that are coming are going to actually start coming, soon and be very rapid. So when this whirlwind of changes occurs, and we were sort of said, don't get caught up in it, we can and we're allowed just to step back and not let it like be safe in our feeling of our own of ourself.
It is always your choice. It
Okay.
is always your decision. We wish you to be comfortable through this process, but haven't you already been in the whirlwind?
Well, it's interesting. I yes.
Given the energies that are coming forward,
Mhm.
for instance, our friend Kathleen did not know anything about this whole system that she's adopted until
Mhm.
fairly recently in her lifetime.
Mhm.
So her whirlwind started, and we'll just say it's just a little bit of a slow little
Mhm.
whirlwind, giving her time to adjust. But then on the other hand, there were things that happened at the very beginning of this transition that were hard for her to even figure out what in the world was happening. Each individual can pace themselves. The
Mhm.
thing to try is to listen to your own body, and
Mhm.
there's no need to fear, but you might feel fear when something happens that you don't understand. So
Mhm.
we say, take a half a step back and say to yourself, is that really something to be afraid of? And if the answer is yes, means yes, I am afraid. Honor that. And then
Mhm.
tomorrow, when it's still there, or maybe it's changed just a little bit, you can say, oh, yeah, do I feel a little bit better? Or maybe it's not even tomorrow, maybe it's 10 minutes later. But this is not meant to be an instrument of terror. There
Mhm.
are, there will be things that happen, like, for instance, the seeing more things with your uh, powers or gifts of uh, clairvoyance. So, if, for instance, you suddenly start seeing spirits and they're frightening to you, then just say, okay, not quite ready, not quite
Mhm.
ready. Thank you very much. And just, take it at your own pace. But
Mhm.
the experience is there's going to be things, and the main thing that you should do, that each person should do through this whole process is assess their own shadows. So
Mhm.
when a fear arises, ask yourself, why am I afraid of that? And then
Mhm.
talk yourself through all of the things that may have given rise to that fear. And in that way, you might identify some ancient or recent wound that needs to be healed. So it's now is the
Mhm.
time to assess the things that you feel, because those are your pointers toward a place in you that could be healed. And so this transition is going to bring up those opportunities more and more. So when you have an experience of fear, anxiety, any kind of trigger, that is your little pointer to find, why did it make me feel that way? What in me caused me to have that reaction? And you will find, oh, that is something, that's the way I've always done it because this happened the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been when you were 3 years old, or it might have been 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, because as you find all of those places, you will have less and less fear. You will have more and more adaptability to the changes that happen. But yes, it is at your own pace. It is your free will. Nobody is going to bring a hammer and knock you on the head and say, awake, awake, awake. It's not going to happen, because they're going to come to you and they're going to say, here's this new experience. Would you like to try it?
Very
And
nice. Very
you
nice.
get it won't be that obvious, but you know what I mean. It's yes, always remember in every situation, it is always your choice, because that is how this planet has structured. It is a free will planet. That is why we are not able to intervene and take care of things for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, was that helpful to you?
It really was, because I was sort of getting confused about and it separated out. I have my own whirlwind that I can create and be a part of. And then there are other whirlwinds that belong to other places and people and time. So it made me think about making sure that I'm dealing with my own whirlwind, and there are whirlwinds that will be around that I could jump into. But if they're not mine, I just have to say, not mine.
That's absolutely true. You should observe them to see, okay, is there something I can learn from watching
Right.
their whirlwind so that I don't have to experience it myself? That's
Yes.
an
Yes.
easy way to learn. So, but yes, and you can, that is a big thing to identify whether it's yours or whether it's somebody else's, that you have empathic abilities, and that sometimes you don't know until you really learn about your own empathy. You don't know, am I feeling bad because I feel bad, or is it because
Mhm.
he feels bad and I'm empathizing with him? So there isn't it a very intricate system and fun to learn these things? And even these tiny steps are huge in your
Mhm.
learning process.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you for your interest and your questions. They're always very challenging to us. We like that.
Well, I feel honored to know that I'm challenging you, because I feel like
You're,
I
you
feel like
are,
I'm part of
we
your
are
whole and you're a
equals.
bigger whole, but you're really not. We're all equal in
We
all
are,
this.
we are the same. You're just
Yeah.
having a different experience. You're having a human experience. We are having a pure love experience with a little
Yeah.
bit of um, answering questions sprinkled in. We like the questions.
Thank you.
Is that all the questions you have?
For today, yes.
We thank you for honoring us with your presence. We thank you for being here with us tonight. and we thank our friend Kathleen. And we will leave you now with some of our love language full of peace and encouragement and pride for all that you have accomplished.